All right, the Detroit Lions lose to the Minnesota Vikings, and then after the game, Dan Campbell goes to the podium and basically describes how our entire offensive line is injured, and he's going to see how this week plays out to see who we got. And then he starts naming off our practice squad offensive linemen, basically our offensive line on top of a victory. We'll get to it all, and let me know in the comments your thoughts on this. Remember, Craig and I read your comments. We can't reply to all of them, but we learn a lot from you. Other people do too. When you see the comments, things that we didn't see in the game, or maybe you're not thinking of, hit it up in the comments. So first thing is just the offensive line on top of the loss and on top of them not playing well just to begin with, injured. And it's just like, oh my gosh, because offensive line just runs everything. We know that. And so to see Penei Sewell a little injured, and to see Taylor Decker go out, and then Mahogany is just basically a season ender. Dan Campbell didn't say that, but he's just like, he's going to be out. And that was the only one we could really, really tell that, yeah, you could see this ankle got hit. So he's going to be out for a long time. So that was disheartening. The real problem in today's game was there has to be, and I'm not smart enough to know this, John Morton has to know this, and he's the one that's got to figure this stuff out. If I had the answer, I would give it, but I don't know the answer. There has to be a counter to the Vikings defense when they're jumping all around. They always do that. We know that, but it seemed very hectic today. They amped it up. Like, this is what we do. You saw a guy like on the line of scrimmage, and then before the snap, he would just sprint to be like a safety 40 yards downfield. I'm like, okay. And then there'd be a guy, you saw it. And I don't know if that's tunnel screens. I don't know if it's screens. I don't know if it's draws. But to just line up and play where we just snap it, and it's like, all right, Goff, everyone do routes, and we're going to try to find somebody. You can't. It's not fair to your offensive line to try to block 5 guys. 2 guys are coming, 3 guys are dropping. This guy's dropping. It's just like, that's just it's too hard. There's no way to do it. But if you could either line up and just run the ball, we kind of started to do that, but then we kind of didn't. And then you pair that with the special teams, and we haven't been, and this is just showing how spoiled we've been. Is kind of where I left off at this game. Is like, what does that make us? 20-5 in the last, 20 wins and 6 losses in the last 2 years or something like that. Because special teams wise, we are good, and we just gave up so much special teams wise. Really 2 huge plays. The kick return itself got called back, but even we go right down the field. This is why football is just crazy game. We go right down the field, send a message to everybody. It's like, all right, now crowd's amped, and now we're going to have to get out there and let J.J. McCarthy try to go 70 yards against us and really just set the tone for the game. And what happens? Boom, they come right down on that kick return and get right to the 30-yard line, couple plays, touchdown, couple plays later, and we were just behind this game, 14-7. And you saw Goff get sacked like he really hadn't been in a long time. And we had the Vikings number for a while. So now we have to go to Minnesota next time we play. And it's like, and that's Christmas Day, and try to prepare for them on a short week with all the movement and all the crap that they do. There has to be a counter to it. Let me know in the comments if you're a coach out there. If a team's going to be helter-skelter out there, I would have loved to see some reverses, a double reverse. I don't, but to just stand there and snap the ball and be like, all right, go run routes and we'll find you. There's no way. And we had been so good at that. The other thing that we've been so good at in the past is taking Jahmyr Gibbs against the Vikings and have him do those like arrow routes out of the backfield. Just didn't really see that. We just let the Vikings bounce around all over us, and we gotta throw some those quick wide receiver passes out there. Try to get some blocks. The other thing I would have loved to see is just throw it up to Tesla when in doubt. when not when in doubt, just all right. Let's take out everything and let's just give Tesla a shot, a back shoulder, something, get him out wide. There was just Vikings. We did exactly what the Vikings wanted is basically what it is. We did exactly what the Vikings wanted. And sure enough, they dominated. They really dominated that game. And I know, we'll look at the score and everything else. And, it wasn't close. It just really never felt good from the beginning. It felt great from the beginning, and then it just kind of went sideways. I think defensively too, defensively, that's what you do against us is you do that hard play action to the left with a guy coming across, like the one Justin Jefferson where he didn't throw it. That's it. And the Vikings can just, they had a good offensive game plan, basically. We're trying to play man. We're generally doing okay defensively. Like there was nothing crazy defensively where you think, oh my gosh, that was terrible. It made me realize, okay, that was a good offensive game plan from the Vikings that beat our defense. We did not do that on the other side of the ball. We're too talented, the whole thing. We just can't be doing that. And then on top of that, you lose all of your offensive weapons, or offensive linemen, not weapons. And it's, tough loss. But let me just pull this up. However, we're just fine because if you look at the NFC here, you got Eagles in the NFC East. No one's really taking the other team seriously. In the North, you got Packers, Lions, Bears. Somehow find a way to win. No one's taking the Bears seriously. Probably take the Vikings somewhat seriously, but division's still wide open. And we would probably be the team that people don't want to see out of that. South, Buccaneers, and then the West has got 3 teams as well. So, look, 3 teams there. 1 team that's 4, 5, 6, 7. There's your 7 teams that are going to make the playoffs. So we're going to be one of 7 in the playoffs, I would think. And that's the thing. We're trying to get to the playoffs, just not brutally injured. So that's going to be the question all week: is what is Penei Sewell? What's he looking like? What's our offensive line looking like? Can the backups do it? We'll see. Let me know your thoughts. Make sure you comment something, and we'll see all of you on the next one.